Live from Fox Field, baseball has made its way back to Lynchburg, Virginia, as you're watching college baseball on LHSN. It's the University of Lynchburg Hornets playing their home opener and coming into today's play 2-1 and take on Averett, who sit at 1-4 to start this season. Really excited to bring this broadcast to you. Cougars taking on the Hornets. TJ Wingert alongside Sam Rice with me for today. Sam, this is an interesting spot in the season where it's still very early on. A lot of hope for both sides. Lynchburg picked to win the conference. They won the ODAC last year and coming off a really stellar weekend. Wins against Trinity as well as Washington before falling short on Sunday against Birmingham Southern.
Yeah, a slow start to the season for Averett here, looking to turn that around, and Lynchburg's hoping to keep the momentum they got from that first weekend of play.
Yeah, and talking about Averett's slate, got swept at home against Washington and Lee. Then it was a win at Eastern Mennonite before a tough loss at the hands of Hampton-Sydney, giving up 4 runs in the top of the 8th and ultimately falling to the Tigers 9-7. They did plate runs in the 8th and the 9th to make it interesting, but they did fall short to HSC. Players on the field, that means it's time to introduce the starting lineups today, starting with Averett. Here is the starting 9, and one of the players that's gotten out to a really hot start to the season, 2-hole hitter and second baseman Brandon Hatcher. And Sam, that 2 spot in the order, pretty much nowadays where you want to put your best bat, and Hatcher living up to that billing.
Certainly, yeah. Coach Fleming's talked about he's excited about some of the new power they have in the lineup, and Hatcher is at the start of that with a double and a triple in the season already.
On top of a .417 average, he'll go toe-to-toe with the southpaw Jack Batchmore. First start of the season for Batchmore, coming off a season where he went 5-1, 4 games started, 13 appearances, 5.08 ERA. But how about this? 12.71 strikeouts per 9 innings, and a very fitting start. First pitch cut on and missed. And it's Nolan McCabe at the plate, the center fielder, hitting from the right side. Down to the count, 0-1. Batchmore set, fires, induces a slow ground ball, left side, picked up. Gavin Collins makes the throw to first. A perfect segue for me to introduce the defensive alignment for Lynchburg. The catcher today for Jack Batchmore is Riley O'Donovan. The infield from left to right is Gavin Collins at third making that play. Next to him is Ryan Long at short. PJ Alvanos gets the start at second with Garrett Jackson over at first. In the outfield from right to left has Jackson Harding in right, Carson Atkins in center, and Avery Neves starting in left. So a good start to the day for Batchmore. Pitching to soft contact. Takes 2 pitches to retire his first hitter of the day. And now we'll see the aforementioned Brandon Hatcher step to the plate. And up in the count, 1-0.
Nice to see a lefty on the bump here for Lynchburg to start the season at home.
Foul ball sent towards the brick, first base side. And for those wondering, Batchmore primarily going to see a fastball, curveball, changeup in the repertoire today. And in specific, that changeup in left on right situations like we see here can be a really nice tool in the toolbox. Has it drop off the plate away from the hands of a righty like Hatcher. Slows down the pitch speed, of course. 1-1. Another ground ball left side. Collins gets a glove on it. The throw to first. In time, consecutive 5-3 putouts. Have the first 2 in the Averett order put down.
Nice job recovering on that play from Collins.
That's one of the advantages. We've been seeing a lot of softball lately on LHSN. If it goes off your glove in softball, more often than not, it's tough to make that throw to first. But baseball, it's a slower-paced game and becomes evident on that play. Collins recovers, makes the throw across the diamond, and now left-on-left matchup with Kevin Ziske, right fielder stepping plate for Averett. First pitch, misses the zone. It's a 1-0 start. Ziske so far this season, .286 average. Started all 6 games now for Coach Kevin Fleming. 1-0, breaking ball, clips the outside corner, evens the count at 1-all.
2 doubles on the season for Ziske, another piece of power coming out of that Averett lineup.
And again, that was one of the things that Coach Fleming was really excited about coming into this year. That and a lot more depth this year compared to years past. And on top of, COVID-19 still a part of our world, but learning how to adapt and play a season of baseball through it, and that adding some extra depth and more comfortability in that setting for Averett, hoping to bounce back from a season last year where they went 9-22. That's a 29% win percentage, which actually was the best since 2016. So Averett, in its own way, making progress and steps in the right direction. And this could be one of those teams that takes a huge step forward in the USA South. Averett picked to finish 6th in the conference in the preseason poll. 2's across the scoreboard. Off the end of the bat of Ziske. We'll do it again at 2-2. Batchmore a chance for his first strikeout of the season. That 12.71 Ks per 9 mark. A strength overall for Lynchburg so far this season. Obviously small sample size, but 12.1 strikeouts per 9 innings through 3 games in the season. This pitching staff out to a tremendous start of the year. Another breaking ball. Another foul ball. And talking about the pitching staff, I mean, need no more mention than the ace, Brandon Pond himself, named to the D3 Team of the Week just today, and coming off a season-starting debut where made a pretty compelling opening argument to retain his status as the ODAC Pitcher of the Year. 6 perfect innings against Trinity, 12 punch-outs, and speaking of punch-outs, Ziske down swinging. It's a 1-2-3 start to the day for Jack Batchmore, and the Cougars go down in order. We will step aside and come back with the home half of the first, looking for our first run, and we get our first glance at the Lynchburg order. Home half the first inning. Lynchburg will send Cam Lane, Garrett Jackson, and Gavin Collins to the plate. We'll show you their starting 9 here in just a moment, but they're going toe-to-toe with Tyler Knuckles, starting righty. Gets his 2nd appearance on the bump as a starter this season for Averitt. First pitch of the day, cut out and missed. It's an 0-1 count to start to the DH Cam Lane. The first start of the season for Knuckles. 3 1/3, giving up 9 hits, 7 earned runs against Washington and Lee. 5 strikeouts to 2 walks. So looking for a bounce-back showing. Coming against the preseason pick to win the ODAC Conference. Breaking ball, Lane waits on it, slaps it foul. And furthermore, about Knuckles, 5.89 ERA through the 2021 campaign and 18 1/3 innings worth of work. Opponents hit .221 against him, so there's numbers in there that you really like if you're an Averitt fan and looking for more out of Knuckles this season. It just comes down really to trying to avoid big contact, and in that first start of the season against Washington and Lee, surrendered a couple doubles as well as a triple. 1-2, waved at a missed. Lane goes down for out number 1 of the day for Tyler Knuckles. And Knuckles showcasing a lot of confidence there, Sam, going right underneath the hands of a lefty Lane. Sometimes pitchers a little scared to come on that inside corner against left-handed bats, but Knuckles showcasing a lot of confidence.
Located that fastball nicely under Cam's hand there.
First pitch, curveball, ruled high. It's a 1-0 start to Garrett Jackson, who was at first base in the top half of this frame. Jackson, a 167 average in the early goings of the season. Breaking ball drops in close to the same spot. Knuckles gets the call this time around. Count even at 1-1.
Knuckles showing good demand on his off-speed early.
Slow roller, third base line, goes foul. And it's interesting to see Knuckles feeling confident going to that breaking ball early on. You have two different types of pitchers. One who are very comfortable showing off-speed stuff early on, like we see from Knuckles, and they'll embrace that backwards approach. And then there's other starters who are trying to do fastball as much as they can through the first time through the lineup card, and then they'll go to that secondary pitch mix once they get a second look at the order. This pitch well off the outside corner. Count now 2-1. It's a beautiful day for baseball in Lynchburg, Virginia. Approximately upper 60s, maybe into the 70s now. Sun is out, partly cloudy, wind blowing out towards right center field. 2-1, curveball, popped up. It'll stay in the infield. Stepping up and making the grab at short is Zach Smith. We'll take the chance to introduce the defensive alignment for the Cougars. The outfield from left to right has Gavin Colwell in left. Nolan McCabe starts in center with Kevin Ziske getting the nod in right. In the infield from right to left has Joseph Allen at first, Brandon Hatcher at second, Zach Smith making that play at short, Tyler Wilson manning the hot corner, and doing the catching today for Tyler Knuckles is Zach Proctor. 5 up, 5 down to start the day. Looking for the first base runner. Gavin Collins comes to the plate.
Starting him off with that off-speed again there. Finding the outside corner.
Knuckles embracing that backwards approach. Breaking pitch came far inside. Collins thought it might have clipped maybe the outskirts of baseball pants. Home plate umpire saw it differently. High and away. Count to 2-1. Collins holds a .214 average at this point in the year. 3 hits through 14 ABs. Has a double in there as well. Mighty cut. Collins swings through it. Lands in the glove of Proctor. And the scoreboard shows 2s across the board. A 2-2 count. 2 away. Knuckles a pitch away from matching the 1-2-3 efforts from Jack Batchmore. The top of the first. Off the outside corner. Full count now to the Hornets' third baseman. Collins reaches. Avery Neves, the on-deck hitter. Payoff pitch. Set back up the middle and through. Not only do we have our first base runner, we have our first hit of the day. Collins aboard at first, and we will get to see Avery Neves in the home half of the first.
Now up to bat, number 30, Avery Neves.
Colin made 2 of the outs in the top of the inning and is now our first base runner of the day. No hitter goes away early for Knuckles.
Robin hits in the field, getting him at the plate. Poetry in motion.
Yes, sir.
Neves standing in the right-handed batter's box. Saw him in left field in the top half of the first. Slider down and outside. Good job for Proctor. Blocking it up. Forcing Collins to hold it first. It was a decent lead off the bag for Collins. Breaking pitch. Drops down below the knees. Hitters count now 2-0. Collins without a stolen base attempt over at first. Held on by Allen. Collins takes off. Breaking pitch. Off the glove of Proctor. Missed the inside corner. Hitters count. 3 balls, no strikes, and also an RBI opportunity for Neves.
3-0 count to a dangerous hitter here.
It's interesting to see Collins picked up similar to what I was thinking. You're seeing a whole lot of breaking pitches early in the count. Makes it a little bit easier if you're a runner trying to time it up and create a more favorable opportunity to run, advance 90 feet. That's exactly what Collins does. A base hit here from Neves, likely to score our first run. Knuckles will step off the rubber. Wait a little longer to see our 3-0, and actually they're going to call a balk. And it becomes a warning against Knuckles. Knuckles back toeing the rubber. Neves to the plate. We'll see if he has the green light 3-0. Slider down and outside.
4 straight
all
off
speed pitches all 4 times to Neves. Which as a cleanup hitter, that's got to be quite the compliment. No fastballs in his direction.
You have to imagine he had the green light there and was sitting fastball, so probably smarter Knuckles to go back to the off speed.
It's one of those spots, first base is open, a walk doesn't hurt you too much other than in your pitch count situation, but obviously you're in the early goings. Knuckles, though, 19 pitches so far in the first. 2 on, 2 down, P.J. Alvenos steps to the left-handed batter's box, takes the first pitch in for a called strike one. Alvenos had 2 RBIs in the win over Washington. 9-5 win for Lynchburg on Saturday. All told, Alvenos 167 average on the season. Sits in an even count, 1-1. Rolled over, right side. Blocked up by Joseph Allen. The toss to first, not in time. Great hustle for P.J. Alvenos. It's going to come in E3. Allen couldn't handle it initially. Toss to Knuckles covering the bag was not in time. So any runs that come around to score will be unearned against Knuckles. But bases loaded. 2-out rally being mounted by the Hornets. Riley O'Donovan, the catcher, watches the first pitch breaking ball miss the zone. Just like Alvenos, O'Donovan had 2 RBIs in the win over Washington. (1-0), fastball, cut on and missed, even the count at 1. Second start this season for O'Donovan. Went 1 for 5 against Washington, a home run and 2 RBIs. His first collegiate long ball. Knuckles misses the outside corner. Season ago, O'Donovan hit .208. Played 17 games, 5 hits through 24 ABs. (2-1) misses high and outside. 3 balls and a strike. Knuckles has nowhere to put O'Donovan. We were talking about Alvenos likely sitting 3-0 fastball. 3-1's not that much different. Knuckles deals, gets the fastball pumped past O'Donovan. That's a huge strike 2.
Nice fastball on the outside half there. Likely go back to it here.
3-2, 2 down. Runners will be in motion. Payoff pitch. Left side. Backhanded by Wilson.
Struggle.
Popped out of the glove. The throw to first. Not in time. Allen blocks it up. All runners advance 90 feet, which brings Gavin Collins around to touch home plate and give us our first run of the day. Lynchburg with the early lead, 1-0.
Nice job from third baseman Wilson there to keep that ball in front. Keep more runners from scoring on that play. Just didn't get the throw over in time.
It'll be ruled a hit for O'Donovan, who's on at first. Alvenos at second, and over at third is Neves. First pitch swinging Jackson Harding slaps it foul up the first base side. It'll be an unearned run charged to Knuckles, but the RBI is given to O'Donovan. Hit the other way. Couple steps back. Gavin Colwell makes the grab for out number 3, but a 2-out rally does the job and gives us our first run of the day. Lynchburg, off the RBI single from Riley O'Donovan, leads 1-0 through 1. 1-0 ball game. On to the top of the second inning. Avery Spicer, Joseph Allen, Tyler Wilson coming to the plate for Averett. After a 1-2-3 first, Jack Batchmore deals. Fastball off the outside corner. The count starts at 1-0 to the DH for the Cougars. Backdoor breaking ball, clips the outside corner. Spicer holds a .222 average, 5th start of the season. That's 2 hits through 9 ABs. Give him hit number 3 in his 10th at-bat, and it's the first base run of the day for Averett.
Now up to bat, number 26, Joseph.
Nice rebound there for Averett. Go down in order in the first, and then get out to a strong start in the bottom of the first inning. Ultimately, a 2-out rally brings across the first run of the day. Now the leadoff man on to start the top of the second. Cougars looking to get that run back. Batchmore misses down and inside to Joseph Allen. Spicer at first, not an overly large lead, held on by Garrett Jackson. A little tougher to run against these lefties in Batchmore. Right down the heart of the plate, a called strike against Allen. After a long look in, signs given from O'Donovan. Runner takes off, the 1-1, mighty cut on and miss, the throw to second, short hops. P.J. Alvenos and backing up the play is the shortstop long, but stolen base for Spicer on his first attempt of the season. Allen down to the count, 1-2. Now an RBI opportunity for Allen. Breaking ball does its job, freezes Allen. He knew it immediately. Backwards K, second strikeout for Batchmore, and a big first out to the top of the second. And it is a right-handed heavy order today for Averett. Just one left-handed bat. That was the 3-hole hitter, Kevin Ziske. Everyone else sitting from the right side. Conventional thinking. Edge there for the Cougars against the lefty Batchmore. First pitch breaking ball. Down below the knees. Wilson looking for his first hit of the season. 0 for 8 to start. Long glance to second. Batchmore fires. Finds the outside corner. Count to 1-1. P.J. Alvenos near the bag at second. Trying to hold Spicer honest. Close mids for Batchmore. Count moves 2 balls and a strike.
Big hole on the right side of the infield for Wilson here.
And I guess the left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitters are already kind of thinking that direction. Alvenos retreats away from the bag. 3-1 misses inside. But that said, knowing your second baseman's holding the runner on, you can see Lynchburg trying to pitch to the opposite, attack that inside corner against Wilson. Little things like that that can make a difference. It seems long-term trajectory. I talked to Coach Lucas Jones for the Hornets earlier this week, and he's really excited about where this team's mindset at. And with the full recruiting class under his belt, deep drive center field, not getting to it. Carson Atkins sees it land at the track. Coming around third to score, Avery Spicer touches home plate, trading places with him. Tyler Wilson not only gets his first hit, his first RBI on the season, and we're tied up 1-1.
A lot of backspin on that ball, carried all the way out to the warning track there.
The wind has stopped blowing, but throughout the majority of the first inning, carrying a little bit into the second. Wind was blowing out towards straightaway center field, so I had a little extra carry. Bad timing to bring up Coach Jones and his hopes for the season as Averitt ties it up one apiece. But Coach Jones really excited to be in a spot where, as much as he enjoyed coaching players that were here, Coach Abel before him, now it's a spot where everybody that is in that room, someone he brought here. And everyone understands the culture and the goals in mind set forth by Coach Jones. And then a spot where his first recruiting classes, now seniors. And they are the leaders in that locker room. 1-0, Zach Proctor watches a miss high and outside. Proctor with the catching duties this afternoon. Just his second game played. (2-0), Batchmore pumps the fastball in for a called strike one.
Batchmore living on that outside half, like we said.
Alvano's not quite as close to the bag as he was when it was Spicer occupying the space. The 2-1 just off the outside corner. Hitters count. Proctor, a chance to give the Cougars their first lead of the day. This is an Averett team that gave Lynchburg some troubles last year in a pair of meetings, including first time they met. It was the home opener for Lynchburg, season opener for Averett. Some similar situations that we see today, being that it's the Lynchburg home opener and a full count now to Proctor. But Lynchburg, at one point in that game, down 9-2 after 2.5. Hornets score 5 across in the bottom of the third, 4 more in the bottom of the fourth, and ultimately that game finishes 11-9 final. Payoff pitch, Proctor watches it cross on the inside corner. Third strikeout for Batchmore, second of the backwards K variety, and there's 2 away. Zach Smith coming to the plate. And if you're Batchmore here, the job becomes hold the damage at a run, get your offense back to the plate, and give your offense a chance to retake their advantage. Big cut from Smith on the first pitch. Breaking ball comes up empty. Smith in the 8th spot, playing short today. Second game played, 1 for 2 at this point in the season at the plate. Breaking ball, located perfectly on the outside edge. Pitchers count 0-2. Smith forced to battle now. Alvanos nowhere near second base. Long pause as O'Donovan trying to relay the signs to Batchmore. Time called instead by Zach Smith. The 0-2 freezes Smith. Third backwards K of the inning, 4th strikeout overall for Jack Batchmore. A run does come across, though. RBI extra base hit for Tyler Wilson. Brings it to a 1-1 score. We'll step aside and come back with the home half of the second, all tied up at Fox Field. Home half of the second inning. Averitt ties it up with an RBI double from Tyler Wilson in the road half of the frame. Now we'll see Ryan Long, Carson Atkins in the top of the order come back to the plate for Lynchburg in the form of Cam Lane. 0-1 to Long. Off the outside corner. And it was a tough first inning for Tyler Knuckles. You look at the first two outs he retires. Lane and Jackson strike out, pop out to short. Good early returns there for Knuckles, but then got into trouble. Ultimately gave up a pair of hits, had a runner reach through a walk and an error as well, and the two-out rally brought across the first run of the day for Lynchburg. Long stands all the way to the back of the right-handed batter's box, checks the swing. Peel up the first base line, says that Long did indeed hold his swing, and the count becomes 2-2. Knuckles misses off the outside corner.
The
and
count was
the count was 3-1. There we go. It's game one at home for me as well. Second walk issued by Knuckles. Leadoff man is on. And Carson Atkins, center fielder, comes to plate for the first time this afternoon. Got a shot there of Lucas Jones, fifth year as the head coach, Lynchburg baseball team. Atkins shows bunt, pulls back. Ahead in the count 1-0. Atkins actually with a team best 500 average to this point in the season. Takes this one down in the dirt. Blocked up well by Proctor.
Long not getting far off first. 5 stolen bases last season, so let's see what he does here.
No stolen base attempts yet this season for Long. Knuckles misses off the outside corner. Hitters count 3 balls and no strikes. And again, after Atkins comes Cam Lane. This is a really nice spot if you find yourself in. If you're the Hornets 8-hole hitter, leadoff guy this inning gets on. If Atkins could do the same, you flip the lineup card over with a nice RBI chance for Lane, Jackson, as well as Collins.
Yes, that walk to start this inning off could come back to haunt Knuckles here.
And it changes coach by coach, but it's simultaneously pretty unanimous, excuse me if I could speak. It's a 3-1 cut on and miss, but coaches will tell you leadoff runner gets on, especially via a walk, they'll come around to score 90% of the time. Some coaches it's 95. Some will go as far as to say it's 100% of the time.
Sure.
But it does feel like they're more often than not pretty right about that. Runner takes off, 3-2, cut on a miss. Atkins goes down swinging. The throw to second, not in time to catch Long. First stolen base of the season for the Hornets shortstop. Atkins becomes strikeout number 2 for Knuckles. And well, maybe it's not the most ideal situations with both the 8 and 9-hole hitters reaching for Lynchburg. Lineup card turns over with an RBI chance in front of Cam Lane. Lane watches the first pitch, missed the zone, ahead 1-0. The DH 0 for 1, struck out in his first AB. Called strike at the letters.
Cam Lane with 4 RBIs this season already, looking to add to that total here.
Came in today with a 273 average, also a double. Obviously only 3 games into the season, so there's a lot to figure out about both these teams. For Averitt, this becomes game number 6 on the year. But nonetheless, based off prior information and knowledge and getting to see players last year, you start to piece together what a player and their stat line might look like. And Lane, somebody top of the order, provides a ton of pop. This one doesn't go far, however. Zach Smith underneath it makes a grab for out number 2.
Now up to bat, number 21, Garrett Jackson.
So with a runner on at second and 2 away, Garrett Jackson looking to come through in the RBI spot. He pumped out to short his first time up. Breaking pitch. This is the zone. 1-0 count to start. Longer runner with solid speed at second, held on by Hatcher. One 0, skied foul, first base side. It will get out of play. Last year, Jackson finished the season 42 RBIs, 10 home runs, 293 average. Sends this one to Hatcher at second. The throw to first in time, 4-3 put out good for out number 3. Leadoff runner reaches via the walk and then steals second, but Ryan Long doesn't get any further. 1-1 your score. We're through 2. Stepping aside and coming back with the top of the third from Fox Field. (9-1-2) coming to the plate for Averett. Gavin Colwell, Nolan McCabe, and Brandon Hatcher scheduled to the dish. Third inning of work for starter Jack Batchmore. Finds the outside corner. Leads the count 0-1 to Colwell.
First at bat of the season for Colwell here.
Looking to get out on the right foot. Swings through the breaky ball. Down to the count, 0-2. After going down 1-2-3 in the first, it was a run on 2 hits in the second. And you look at that top of the second, and it's mixed results for Batchmore. He strikes out the side, and they're all backwards Ks, which is to indicate that the stuff was looking good, freezing a lot of hitters. But give up a leadoff single. They steal second. It's an RBI double on a long drive from Tyler Wilson that ultimately brought Avery Spicer around to tie the game up. 2-2s in on the hands, and Colwell lofts it up and over first base side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Batchmore again goes that inside corner. In on the hands. Colwell sends it to the shortstop. Long going back and has just enough ground to make the grab. Colwell down for out number 1.
I thought Colwell caught just enough bat to sneak that over his head there, but nice play to get the out.
In a game of inches, Colwell had just a bit of a bad break there. Long just enough. Arm length and right glove size too, right? Pretty close to a snow cone grab there. Lineup card turns over. Nolan McCabe to the plate for the second time. Big cut on the breaking ball. And like Mini Cougars the first time through the order, Comes up empty against it. Back to the breaking ball, rolled over, left side. Collins charges in. The throw to first, in time for out number 2.
Testing Collins early here, and he has answered every time.
McCabe 0 for 2, 2 ground outs to Collins over at third.
Now up to bat, number 2.
And keep in mind, it was Gavin Collins come through with our first hit of the game as well. So a really solid start to Gavin Collins' home season. Sophomore from Clifton, Virginia. Certainly standing out so far today. First pitch on the way to Hatcher. Misses high and outside. Hatcher 0 for 1 with the ground out to third as well. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike 1. And that's really been the key to success going back to that breaking pitch for Batchmore. He's been able to throw it for a strike. He's been able to miss bats at the same time. And when you can do that as a pitcher, that's when you become unhittable. 1-1 misses high and outside. 2-1 to Hatcher. Average north of 400 for today's game. This pitch down and inside. Runs the count to 3 balls and a strike. Infield plays straight away against Hatcher. Center fielder Atkins shading over towards right center field. Not that it'll matter. It's a 5-pitch walk given up to Hatcher.
Now up to bat, number 17, Kevin Ziske.
Kevin Ziske back to plate. Lone left-handed batter. The 9-man order for the Cougars. 0 for 1 with the strikeout.
Hatcher 2 for 2 stolen base attempts this season so far.
Again, it gets harder to run against those lefties, but Hatcher with some early success, and Batchmore knowing the scouting report. Letting Hatcher know he sees him.
Almost caught Hatcher leaning there.
Held on by Garrett Jackson. Open stance for Ziske. First pitch, breaking ball, called strike 1. And as good as that curveball's been for Batchmore, these left-on-left settings, it gets that much harder to hit.
Yeah, I do not envy Ziske in this situation here.
286 coming in today. Throw to first. Back standing is Hatcher. On the opposite side of the infield from Hatcher is head coach Kenny Fleming. His second stint with the program, 4th year as a head coach, was once assistant as a grad assistant in 2016 and 17. Before that was a student assistant in 2015. After his first coaching tenure with Averett, went over to be a part of the coaching staff at Army West Point, and now is back. Hatcher takes off, throw to second, and Hatcher dead to rights. That's O'Donovan DeLong. 2-6 put out to bring a close to the top of the 3rd inning. Still tied, 1-1. Defenses getting in on the fun. We'll step aside and come back with the home half of the 3rd. Looking to break the tie. 1-1 your score, 2 hits for each side. We're on to the bottom of the third inning where Lynchburg is going to send Gavin Collins, Avery Neves, and PJ Alvenos to the plate. And this call at the middle of the order, 3 through 5, presents a ton of pop for this Lynchburg lineup. Knuckles with the tall task of facing him a second time. Induces a swing and miss, strike one.
Collins had Lynchburg's first hit of the day in the first inning, back up the middle.
Came in a 2-strike count, and Collins came around to score. Lone run of the day for Lynchburg. Another breaking ball. Another pitch swung on and missed. And the count to 0-2.
I think Collins' eyes got big on that breaking ball there. Swung right through it.
Now the question becomes, does Knuckles go to it a third straight time? He will. Lazy fly ball, center field, a step in, and McCabe there to make the grab. But that's an at-bat. Keep that in the back of your mind as Collins goes down F8, but felt like he was starting to get a beat on that breaking pitch. Wasn't really all that close the first time. Looks like the timing was there on the second, and then just off the end of the bat on the fly out to center. So Avery Neves coming to the plate, looking for his first official AB. As the left fielder drew a walk in his first plate appearance.
Goes up 1-0 in the count here.
And Tyler Knuckles already up to 50 pitches thrown.
Wow.
Just his second start of the season, went 3 1/3 against Washington and Lee. And 50 pitches through 2 1/3, not necessarily ideal if you're Averett or Knuckles himself. It's also compounded with the fact that second start of the season, Knuckles probably isn't at the full, hey, if he can go 110, that's where he's at today. That leash is a little bit shorter this afternoon. And you'll try to work him up to that once you get into conference play and get to the end of the year.
Yeah, a quick turnaround from a hard-fought loss last night, too, so can imagine some of those bullpen arms aren't ready to pitch today.
3-0. Called strike one. And these are the conversations I'm excited to be having once more. How do you handle the bullpen? Who's ready? Who pitched yesterday? How many can you get out of them today? You're a baseball fan. Little talks like that. Music to your ears. Nice recovery for Knuckles. Battles back from down 3-0, and the count now full to Neves. Cougars defense playing straight away against the Lynchburg cleanup bat. Slider drops off the outside corner. Nice bite on the off-speed pitch, but Neves lays off. Draws the third walk of the day issued by Knuckles. And PJ Alvenos, to the sound of Taylor Swift, steps to the left-handed batter's box. Reach on an E3. His first at-bat of the afternoon. Right on left matchup. Off the inside corner. Alvenos ahead in the count, 1-0 to start.
Neves with one stolen base on the season, has a decent lead over there at first.
And on the other side of the infield, there's Lucas Jones. Talked about him being in his 5th year as the head coach of this Lynchburg program. Also, standout player for the Hornets. All-American once upon a time, donning the black and white, shades of red. Jones an All-American in 2005. Breaking the action. Trip out to the mound. After Knuckles falls behind 2-0 to Alvenos. And this looks to be Billy McLaughlin coming out of the bullpen. Or excuse me, coming out of the first base dugout. Returned to the Averitt baseball program in July of 2019. It was once a pitcher and first baseman for Averitt from 2013 to 2016. Now the job here for Coach McLaughlin is settle down Knuckles. Try to keep it at a 1-1 score. Neves off the bag at first. A modest lead held on by Allen. Neves takes off. Hit and run. Popped up in the infield. Neves retreats back to first. Making the grab over at third is Tyler Wilson to set down Alvenos.
Neves got a good jump on that. Seemed like he would have had the stolen base.
So with a runner on and 2 away, Riley O'Donovan came through with an RBI single his first at-bat. Looking to generate yet another 2-out rally. The run for Lynchburg, if you missed it, the bottom of the first, sparked by all 4 runners that reached that inning, doing so with 2 away. Runner takes off, breaking pitch, high and inside, the throw to second, not in time, and like Collins did in the first, Neves taking advantage of the backwards approach for Knuckles. First pitch breaking ball opens up the opportunity to swipe second. 1-0 count to start to O'Donovan. Pitch located on the outside black. Count even at 1. So once again, Donovan finds himself an RBI opportunity with 2 away. Brennan Hatcher taps the glove near second base. Breaking pitch. Narrowly misses the outside corner. Two-one offering. Off the outside corner, maybe elevated as well. Hitters count, 3 balls and a strike. This is the exact count that O'Donovan found himself in, with Collins on at third, Neves at second, and Alvenos on at first. Back in the first inning. 3-1, up and above the letters. O'Donovan draws walk number 4 issued by Tyler Nichols. Now 4 walks to 2 strikeouts for the Averitt starting arm. 64 pitches thrown. And as it stands right now, no activity in the Cougars bullpen, so we'll see how much longer Knuckles stays out on the bump. Jackson Harding, first pitch swinging. Drive out to right center field. Tracking back, there to make the grab, Nolan McCabe. Retires Harding for out number 3. 2 runners left on for Lynchburg. The Hornets threaten, unable to get that go-ahead run across the board. We're through 3, tied up 1-1 at Fox Field. One-third of the way through, 1-1 your score. The run for Lynchburg comes in the bottom of the first. Averett responds with their lone run so far in the top of the second. That brings us to where we are. Jack Batchmore In the middle of facing this Cougars order for the second time around, we'll face 3-4-5 Kevin Ziske, Avery Spicer, and Joseph Allen scheduled to the plate. Home plate umpire signals that Ziske win around. The count starts at 0-1. Ziske was at the plate when the final out was recorded at the top of the third. As we watch Brandon Hatcher get caught stealing on a missile, leaving the right hand of Riley O'Donovan. 2-6 put out. Good for the final out. Top of the third. Now Ziske down at the plate. Trailing the count 0-2, and an in-between swing sets him down. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
There's that lefty-lefty off-speed we were talking about. Ziske caught in between swings on all three of those pitches.
Fifth strikeout for Batchmore. First forward-facing K since the first inning. The three in the middle, all backwards, and they all came in the second. Batchmore feeling that breaking ball. Gets Avery Spicer to swing through it. Averett's DH 1-for-1 with a single and a run scored. And Batchmore will step off the rubber. An arm now starting to warm up in the bullpen for Averitt. See if we get more of Tyler Knuckles in the home half of the fourth. 0-1, down to the dirt. Cut on and missed. Spicer trails 0-2.
Some action in the Lynchburg bullpen as well. Kendrick Creasy loosening his arm up.
That feels like it comes back to what we talked about with Wilson. This being the first start of the year for Batchmore. How deep can you send him? Breaking ball, back to Batchmore. Underhand toss to first. 6 pitches, all strikes. The first 2 were down to start the fourth.
Now up to bat, number 26, Joseph Allen.
Batchmore looking to do it all himself here.
So the question becomes, I think the answer would be no, but say in this scenario, Allen goes down on 3 straight strikes, which is already now ruled out the window. His first pitch misses outside. But in this event, if Allen goes down 3 strikes, it's not an immaculate inning, right? Has to be 3 strikeouts for that?
I think the rule says it has to be strikeouts there.
Yeah, so
I like what you're thinking, though.
Despite the fielder's assist in the mix. Weighs the same in my heart.
Sure.
And that should count
Impressive
for something.
nonetheless.
1-1, clips the inside corner. Pitcher's count at 1-2. Well, immaculate inning or not, Batchmore has looked good today, but most impressively coming in the top of the fourth inning where we are now.
Certainly.
Off the foot of Allen, rolling foul up the third baseline.
A little bit of a defensive swing there. It was coming up and in.
Count stays 1-2. Lynchburg's infield plays straight away. The outfield once again shaded a couple steps to our right. Breaking ball, cut on, and missed. 3 up, 3 down for Jack Batchmore with strikeouts 5 and 6 along the way. He's retired 5 in a row. We're stepping aside and coming back with the home half of the fourth. Lynchburg and Averett tied up 1-1. Welcome back to Fox Field. New pitcher on the bump for Averett. We saw an arm start to get loose in the bullpen, and Shane Mickle comes out of the pen and comes on in relief for Tyler Knuckles, who traverses through 3 innings, gives up 1 run. It was unearned, and surrendered 2 hits along the way. Really, where Nichols really got into issues was issuing 4 walks to the 2 strikeouts. First pitch of the day for Mickle on the outside corner for a called strike 1. A lot of bite on the breaking ball, swinging through it. Leadoff man Ryan Long. After Long comes Carson Atkins in the top of the order in Cam Lane. 0-2 for Mickle. Curveball. Long. Better timing on it. Sends it back to the padding.
Really loopy off speed from Mickle here.
Third appearance of the season already for Mickle. Went 2 innings on the 12th against Washington and Lee. Unable to record an out in the 16th at WNL. And all told in the year, 2 innings worth of work. ERA sits at 13.50. No strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 hits allowed. Oh, 2 curveball comes too far inside, and that is the last case scenario you want to see if you are Shane Mickle and Averett's coaching staff with it. Heading the count 0-2. Last thing you want to do in that spot, give up a free base. So now step to the plate, the 9-hole hitter and center fielder, Carson Atkins.
Ryan Long gifted 2 bags here today, walked in his first appearance.
First pitch to Atkins off the outside corner.
Atkins went down swinging in his first at-bat.
Long off from first, not an overly large lead. Mickle comes back on the inside corner. Fastball gets a called strike. Now Mickle leaves it off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Mickle, a sophomore from Richmond, Virginia, went to Douglas Freeman High School. Had 11 appearances in 2021. 15 innings of work. Opponents hit .311 against him. And had the ERA sitting at 10.80. Two-two count to Atkins. Pitch down in the dirt. Runner takes off. It was blocked up by Proctor. The throw to second, though, not in time. Long advances on the wild pitch, and it's 3-2 count now to Carson Atkins.
Great base running from Long there. Saw that ball down and got a good jump.
Reading dirt balls. Again, another sign that we're into baseball season.
Yes, sir.
And it's one of those little edges you can try to find. A 1% difference makes a difference in a close contest. 3-2, hit hard but foul up the right field line.
Mickle living on the outside half here to Atkins.
And Mickle with, call it a 3/4 arm slot, 2-seam fastball, tack the outside corner, try to have it sneak back on the black. The exact pitch we see here, sent to Hatcher at second. Throw to first, retires Atkins for out number 1, but a productive out at that as Long moves up to third for Lynchburg. Now an RBI chance for Cam Lane. This is a great spot to find yourself in if you're Lynchburg. And it mirrors what almost happened in the second. Long drew a walk as the leadoff man, stole second, but then did not advance any further as Atkins, Lane, and Jackson were retired. Strikeout, pop out, ground out, respectively. Here in the fourth, playing out a little different. Long reaches to start, moves up to second, pushed to third by Atkins, and the first pitch comes too far inside and hits the knee of Cam Lane.
Ryan Long called an off-speed off the back, and Cam Lane catches a fastball down low here. Probably didn't feel very good.
I think of the two, if you're giving me two situations where I'm hit by one of those pitches, give me Ryan Long's breaking ball lower back 10 times out of 10. Lane does make it up the first base line. It does appear that Lane will be okay. And to be a fly on the wall of that conversation between Lane and first base coach Oscar Garcia, I am envious of whoever might hear that talk up the first base line. Lane will stay in the game. Runners at the corners. One away. Garrett Jackson back to the plate for the third time. First baseman 0 for 2 with a pop out and a ground out. Pitch high and inside for Mickle. Count opens at 1-0. And in this spot, Sam, the hit by pitch does play into the strategy here for Coach Jones up the third base line. Because let's say Lane draws a walk. I think this is a spot where you might send Lane in motion, try to get away from the double play possibilities. He also was just hit by a pitch in the knee, but that won't stop Lane. Pitch in for a called strike. The throw to second, cut off by Hatchery. Comes in front of second base to cut off the throw.
Lane's third stolen base on the season.
So now 2 ducks in scoring position for the Hornets. A 1-1 count to Jackson. And just as we were talking about, the double play possibility, barring something weird and wacky happening, is now off the table. 1-1 curveball, wicked movement, drops in. And I can imagine after seeing 2 of your teammates plunked, seeing that breaking ball start on that inside corner makes you a little uncomfortable at the plate. Works the advantage for Shane Mickle. 1-2, spiked across home plate, and where it gives, it takes away. Wild pitch, brings across run number 2 as Ryan Long touches home plate. Lynchburg ahead, 2-1. Also advancing is Cam Lane. He's now 90 feet away from making it 3-1 Lynchburg. Two-two. Curveball waved at and missed, and Jackson now 0 for 3. Tough day going for the Hornets first baseman. First strikeout for Mickle. Looking to hold the damage at 1 run here in the home half of the 4th inning. We'll have to go through Gavin Collins to do just that. First pitch to the AB, curveball. Cut on and missed. And we saw Collins get 3 consecutive curveballs from the starter Tyler Knuckles, and felt like with every swing he got a little bit closer. And while he is still seeing curveballs to start his third at-bat, it's a little different coming out of the hands of Mickle. This one misses the inside corner.
Mickle letting runners advance on wild pitches this inning twice. Probably live on that off speed, having a hard time locating that fastball.
And in this spot where wild pitch makes it a 2-run Lynchburg lead, like you said, Sam, I think Mickle's going to stick with what he's comfortable with. And you see the fastball and where he's putting it. A little all over the map. And we didn't see Mickle warming up long in the bullpen. So this could be a spot where, as a reliever, he's still trying to find his rhythm and his groove and his comfort level with that fastball. Back to the heater, inside portion, fouled away by Collins.
Some mean cut on that fastball from Mickle, breaking into right-handed batters.
And you compare that movement to the breaking ball dropping away from the hands of right-handed hitters. This is another one of those spots where I'm really happy I'm watching the game and not trying to take cuts against that. Back to the slider, held on by Proctor. Collins becomes the second strikeout victim in the 4th against Shane Mickle. But a run across via a wild pitch as Ryan Long touches home plate. Lynchburg leads 2-1 as we're through 4. New pitcher on the mound as we head to the top of the 5th inning. It's Kendrick Creasy coming on in relief for Jack Batchmore, who was stellar through 4 innings of action for Lynchburg. 6 strikeouts for the southpaw, just 1 walk on the other side. All told, 1 earned run to go against Batchmore in his first start of the season. Furthermore, only allowed the 2 hits. So it's Kendrick Creasy coming out of the bullpen, getting his 2nd appearance on the season. Went 1 inning in a loss at Birmingham Southern this past Sunday. Gave up 2 hits, 1 unearned run, had a strikeout in that 1 frame of work. The first hitter that Creasy faces is Tyler Wilson. Had the RBI double his first time up. First pitch swinging, sends this one towards the right field line. Covering the necessary ground, though, was Jackson Hardy to make the grab for out number 1. Creasy last season, 5 2/3 innings worth of work, 6 appearances, 5 earned runs. So the ERA sits at 7.94. 4 strikeouts to 4 walks last year for Creasy.
Proctor to the plate for Averett now.
0 for 1, struck out looking his first time up. Cut on and missed. Count starts at 0-1. Creasy, a senior from Waldorf, Maryland. Previously played at Barton College. The 0-1 off the outside corner. Over the 3 years Creasy spent at Barton, playing at the Division II level, totaled 15 2/3 innings worth of work. 1-1 to Proctor. This is downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. The Averett catcher.
Sun starts to break through here at Fox Field.
Start to see the shadows cast, primarily working from left to right. Casting themselves mostly into left field. 2-1. Breaking pitch. Had Proctor fooled. Missed the zone. 3 balls and a strike now. We're talking about those shadows in left field. Makes the lives of Avery Neves for Lynchburg and Gavin Colwell for Averett a little bit more challenging. 3-1. Fastball right down Broadway. Count now full.
This is about as good of baseball weather you're going to get in February.
And considering it is middle of February, we've got a beautiful day for baseball on hand. It's right around 70 degrees, time of first pitch. Wind right around 9 miles an hour, blowing out towards right center field. But you compare this to the rain yesterday and projected rain tomorrow. The midweek clash between Averett and Lynchburg found the perfect day to take center stage. And it's currently 70 degrees outside. Because of the moisture from yesterday, or tomorrow, excuse me, is a little humid, but nothing too bad. Drop third strike. We'll have Proctor aboard at first. Becomes the first strikeout of the day for Creasy. But I'll have to work with a runner on for the first time today.
Proctor in swing mode there against Creasy's fastball. Paid off for him.
1 on, 1 away for Zach Smith. Shortstop also went down on strikes his first time up. Slider to start the at-bat. Clips the outside corner. Now facing the bottom third of the order. Chance for Creasy to have some confidence before eventually retaking the mound and facing the top of the lineup in the 6th. Good size lead for Proctor off the bag at first. High and inside. Wild pitch will move Proctor up to second. We've seen that despite being a catcher, Proctor runs well. So a hit to the outfield could certainly tie this game up 2-all. So now it's an RBI chance for Zach Smith. 1-1 on its way. Hit on the ground, left side, and passed long into left field. Coach Fleming will hold Proctor at third. The throw from Neves in left. A little up the third base line, but Cannon put on display. It's a single for Smith, however. Proctor on the other end of the infield. Runners at the corners, just one down, and an RBI chance for Gavin Colwell. Colwell 0 for 1, popped out to short his first time up.
Double play in order here for Lynchburg with one out.
Smith, middle infielder, off at first. Might see something similar what we saw for Lynchburg in the home half of the fourth. Put the runner in motion from first. Fastball, cut on and missed. Count starts at 0-1. For Lynchburg, it was Cam Lane as the runner off from first. And despite being hit by a pitch and taking it off the knee, Lane was still in motion. We'll see if Smith does the same for Averett. Creasy set at the chest. Deals to the plate and gets a foul ball. Smith was not in motion. Here 0-2 though, might be expecting a slider from Creasy. Could present a favorable running situation over at first in Zach Smith. Slider for Creasy, paints the outside corner. Colwell sees 3 pitches, all strikes, backwards K, good for the second strikeout of the inning for Kendrick Creasy. And Sam, that is a huge second out. Now for Averett to tie this game up, it's going to take a base knock from the leadoff man, Nolan McCabe, or an unforced error from Lynchburg.
Definitely Averett came out this inning swinging. We'll see if that plan sticks here.
Third time to the plate for McCabe, 0 for 2 with the pair of groundouts to third. Another long pause for Creasy. Deals down and outside. Garrett Jackson is still holding the runner on over at first. Opens up a bit of a hole in the right side of the infield. Fastball misses in nearly the same spot. Hitters count, 2 balls, no strikes.
Creasy seeming a little occupied by the runner on first here.
And Creasy coming on in relief for Jack Batchmore, who was stellar through 4 innings. Lynchburg just took the lead. The run across in the bottom of the fourth, looking to keep it at a 2-1 score. 2-0. Slider, a pretty one at that. They'll say McCabe went around. Count now 2 balls and a strike. And Creasy did a great job there, leveraging that slider after seeing 2 fastballs on the outside corner. McCabe thought he was seeing number 3 in a row. Two-one to McCabe. Another slider. Cut on and miss. Count even at 2. Out in front of the plate now, Riley O'Donovan relays first and third signs. Averett looking to tie it up. McCabe looking for his first hit of the day. And a big RBI spot right around midway through the contest. Third consecutive slider from Creasy. Hitting the air and out of play.
Creasy looking to escape this inning without any damage. Lefty arms active in the Lynchburg bullpen. Zach Smith.
Creasy pitched just a single inning against Birmingham Southern. Might be the case again today. It'd be a scoreless inning. 2-2, cut on and missed. It will be a scoreless frame of action for Kendrick Creasy. Strikes out the side. Zach Smith stranded at first. Zach Proctor left on at third. Missed opportunity for Averett. Cougars trail 2-1 as we're headed to the bottom of the fifth. Four, 5, 6 scheduled to plate for Lynchburg in a second inning of work against Shane Mickle. Right-handed reliever for Averett surrendered a earned run in his first frame of action in the bottom of the fourth inning, and that's the difference. 2-1 score. Lynchburg looking to continue their offensive momentum, make it runs across in back-to-back innings. Avery Neves, leadoff hitter, I should say. Not an official AB. He's drawn a walk each of his first two times up. And he will go one more plate appearance without an official AB as he is plunked by the first pitch breaking ball. Third hit batter that we've seen from Shane Mickle.
Neves being gifted first base is something I think we'll see quite a bit this season.
Not afraid of standing on that inside corner, that's to say the least. So leadoff man on. PJ Alvenos steps back to the plate. Right on left matchup. Fastball clips the outside corner. Count starts at 0-1.
Neves stole second last time at first. Not a huge lead at the moment.
Neves takes off, slider down and inside. And Neves takes second without a throw. And it's similar to what we talked about with Tyler Knuckles. And using that breaking pitch early in counts, if you start to get an idea of when it's coming, favorable running opportunities, and just like we talked about with Knuckles, Mickle having some of the same issues in Lynchburg, taking advantage. Mickle finds the outside corner, makes it 1-2. One and two. Breaking pitch. Down and inside. Count even at 2-2. So an RBI opportunity for Alvenos. 0 for 2, reach on an error. Popped out to third. Hit on the ground right side. Brandon Hatcher gobbles it up at second. Makes the throw to first. And it's now back-to-back innings where the leadoff runner reaches via hit by a pitch. Advances to second by a steal or a wild pitch last inning. And then advances on a 4-3 putout. Sometimes you got to embrace the Joe Madden inside you and go small ball. And that's seemingly what Lynchburg's doing at the plate this afternoon.
Certainly. Runner 90 feet away. Here with one out. Ball in play will likely score Neves here. Looks like the corners are in for Averett.
And truthfully, maybe it's not called small ball, but doing the little things at the plate, I'll say one thing. It will save Lynchburg from hearing it from Coach Jones. There is nothing that irritates coaches more than, if you're a pitching coach, leadoff walks, and if you're a coach with an offensive focus, leaving runners on, not doing the little things, advancing runners, ground ball right side, like we just saw in back-to-back innings now. Coach Jones got to at least be happy with his team doing the little stuff at the plate.
Can't complain about productive at-bats.
And it's funny you talk about baseball and softball. Productive outs. It's a bit of an oxymoron. Hard to do one while being the other. But there's still a pathway in which that can be done. 2-0. This is downstairs. 3 balls, no strikes to O'Donovan. 1 for 1 with an RBI single in the first and then a walk in the third.
Proctor having to drop to his knees here with Neves 90 feet away.
Off of Proctor's glove, it's ball 4. O'Donovan trots up the first base line and scoring. From third is Avery Neves. Lynchburg gets their second run in as many innings and lead 3-1.
Number 2, Jackson Harding.
4-pitch walk puts O'Donovan on at first. Inning far from over.
And actually, we're going to have a pinch runner here for O'Donovan.
And simultaneously, we'll have a trip out to the mound. Coach Fleming got to make a change. So we will step aside and come back and tell you about the new arm for Averitt. Cougars getting a new look on the bump. We'll also tell you about the pinch runner at first for Lynchburg. 3-1 Hornets out in front of the Cougars. Wesley Payne called out of the pen for Averett. Comes on a relief for Shane Mickle, whose line's not final. He's responsible for the pinch runner, Tom Smith, over at first. Mickle, though, went an inning and a third, gave up 2 runs as it stands right now, one of which is earned. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And giving up 2 runs despite not allowing a single hit is a baseball stat line of midweek fashion if I've ever seen it. Throw to first. Back in time is Smith. But again, these two teams have played a lot of weird games. Going back to the first meeting last season, Averett leads 9-2 after 2.5. Lynchburg plates 9 runs over the next 2, and then it's scoreless baseballs. The next 4.5 frames, game ends in that same 11-9 final score. So with these two teams on the field, you never know what you're going to get. Smith again back in time on another pickoff attempt from Payne. Payne stands at 6'1", weighs 140 pounds. Second appearance this season. Keeping a close eye on Smith at first. The first appearance for Payne, it was 2 innings of action at Washington Lee. Strikeout, a walk, 1 earned run. So the ERA sits at 4.5 to this point in the season. Breaking pitch down and outside, blocked up by Proctor. Thomas won't force the issue at first. More on Payne coming off a year where he had 10 appearances, 0-1 record, 10 1/3 innings worth of work. Opponents hit just 194 against him. The ERA at 4.35, however. 9 walks to 4 strikeouts, a large reason why. And here Payne down on the count, 2-0 to Jackson Harding. Left on left matchup. Some more activity in the Averett bullpen. Hit back up the middle, ranging right. Hatcher has it boot off the glove. E4 moves Smith up to second and has Harding aboard at first.
Second error on the day for Averitt.
And a tricky spot gets that much harder to work out of if you're a Cougars fan. 2 on, 1 down for Ryan Long. Lynchburg shortstop drawn a walk, been hit by a pitch. So looking for his first official at-bat this time around. Both runners take off. Bunt back to the mound. Payne throws to first. Long will continue to be without an official at-bat as the sac bunt does its job. Smith up to third, Harding at second. Now that one I can call a small ball.
Certainly.
And again, Lynchburg executing on all the little things. And when you do that as a baseball team, despite it being called the little stuff, that presents a team that is really tough, especially with a good pitching staff on top of it. Really tough to play from behind against. And that's where Averett finds themselves now.
Carson Atkins with 2 runners in scoring position here, 2 outs.
Carson Atkins hitting .500 coming in today's game. Fouls this one in and out of the glove of Zach Proctor behind the plate. And this afternoon, Carson Atkins working on an 0 for 2 afternoon. Strikeout and a ground out to second. Atkins with an opportunity to at least pick up RBI number 2 of the season. Given Harding's speed at second, more than likely it'd be RBIs 2 and 3. Left on right battle. Sent to the screen by Atkins. Pitchers count 0 and 2. Payne taking his time, getting back to the mound. Going toe-to-toe with Atkins, a senior from Charlottesville, Virginia. The 0-2 offering. Popped up, out of play, first base side.
Atkins 0 for 2 on the day. Second out. Wasn't for nothing. Moved Ryan Long over, who eventually scored.
And Atkins getting the short draw. 3 plate appearances against 3 different pitchers. It was Knuckles the first time, Mickle the second, and now becomes just the second player to see Wesley Payne. 0-2 left up and above the letters.
Bringing up the 3 pitchers here. We have to talk. All 3 of the pitchers have some nice flow. We got to give it to them.
You do. And I can appreciate it on a number of different levels. One, as someone who was unable to look that good with the flowing locks. Additionally, it's across the board. Everyone's on board here. 1-2 off the end of the bat of Atkins and sent foul. And it's interesting also, beginning of the year, right? A lot of times you'll see playoff push. People are growing the stash or the beard, or they're not going to cut their hair. Averitt, from the jump, ready to carry over their momentum from last season where the Cougars went 7-11 in conference play, 7 wins in USA South action, most they've had since 2016. 1-2 high and outside.
Can't blame them for trying to harness that tournament mojo early on.
So 2s across the board. Runners on at second and third. Payne looking to keep it at a 3-1 score. Breaking ball. Payne thought he had strike 3. Instead, we'll see a 3-2 offering to the Hornets center fielder. Three-two count with 2 away. Payoff pitch. Down the heart of the plate. Atkins couldn't square it up and goes down swinging to make him 0 for 3 on the afternoon. First strikeout for Wesley Payne. And we're through 5. 2 runs in back-to-back innings for Lynchburg. Run here in the 5th comes from an error put in play. And now it's a 3-1 Lynchburg lead from Fox Field. Welcome back to Fox Field. We've reached inning number 6. Change on the pitching mound for the Hornets. Adam Doffelmeyer coming out of the pen. Senior from Harrisonburg, Virginia. And he'll see 2, 3, 4 in the Averitt order. That's Brandon Hatcher, Kevin Ziske, and Avery Spicer. Left on right matchup. First pitch swinging. Hatcher rolls it over to long at short. Throw across the infield, scooped up by Jackson, and Hatcher set down 6-3.
Nice job from Jackson there to ensure the out.
And there's a reason, right before the game, you see first baseman working on plays just like that up until time for first pitch. Left on left matchup, Doffelmeyer gets another ground ball back up the middle. Diving effort, long, comes up, toss into first to retire Kevin Ziske. 2 pitches, 2 down. Say a strong start for Doffelmeyer.
Now up to bat, number 38, Avery.
Becomes the second appearance of the season for the senior left-handed arm. And 2 innings strong against number 9 team in the country, Washington. No earned runs, gave up 3 hits. Did allow a run, but it was unearned. 2 strikeouts through those 2 innings. First pitch on the way to Avery Spicer. Not going to take a swing at the first offering he sees. Doffmeyer also coming off a 2020-2021 campaign with 20 appearances, a 3-0 record, 8.87 Ks per nine, and an ERA at 2.82. Doffmeyer ahead in the count now, 0-2. Pitch away from bringing it close to the inning. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Appeal up the first base line. Spicer says that he didn't go around. That call coming from Mark Yoder up the first base line. Our home plate umpire today, Al Bosdell, and it's Mark Price up the third base line. The 1-2, breaking ball towards the right field line and down for a base knock. Spins towards the fence up the right field line, brought back in quickly by Harding, so it's just a single for Spicer. But after the hot start from Doffmeyer, misses in the dirt, first ball, then that becomes the first hit issued by the lefty out of the pen. That allows Joseph Allen to step to the plate. Third time seeing Allen at the dish. He's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Fastball misses downstairs. 1-0 count to start. Spicer 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts now this season. Swiped a bag back in the second, then came around to score. Pitch misses inside to Allen. Hitters count, 2 balls and no strikes. Runs across in bottom of the fourth and fifth for Lynchburg. Pushes the lead to a 2-run advantage. Allen takes this one on the outside corner for the first strike in the AB. And Averitt here, we're going to try to get at least one of those 2 runs back. Have to do so through a 2-out rally. If Allen were to reach, Tyler Wilson is the hitter on deck. Doffmeyer attacks the same spot, gets the same result. 2s across the board with a 2-2 count and 2 down.
Spicer showing no intention to swipe second here with 2 outs.
It was a loud message sent by O'Donovan behind the plate, taking Brandon Hatcher off the base paths. Now the runner will be in motion. Breaking ball, cued foul. Leave it to a broadcaster mentioning someone's not in motion for them to then take that as an open invitation to go ahead and try to move for second. We'll see another 2-2 pitch. Doffmeyer looking to make it 4 consecutive scoreless frames of action for the Lynchburg pitching staff. Leaves this one in the dirt. Scooped up by O'Donovan. We'll see a 3-2 offering and make this one easy for you. Spicer definitely will be in motion here.
I'd say so. With the lefty on the mound, have to make sure he commits home.
3-2 backdoor and a beautiful one at that. The breaking pitch freezes Allen. He goes down looking. First strikeout of the day for Adam Doffmeyer, and it brings a close to the top of the 6th with a runner stranded on at first for Averitt. 3-1 your score. We're stepping aside and coming back with the home half of the 6th. Wesley Payne stays out on the mound as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Lynchburg looking to push runs across in 3 consecutive frames. Meanwhile, Averett held off the scoreboard in 4 consecutive innings, thanks in part to Adam Dolphelmeyer. Scoreless frame of action to start the top of the 6th inning. Home half of the frame, Cam Lane up to lead things off. Swings to the first pitch he sees and trails on the count 0-1 to start. Payne came on to get the final 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Retired long on a sac bunt, then struck out Carson Atkins with 2 runners on in scoring position. Curveball, Lane out in front of it. Shoots it towards the Averett dugout. Lane entered today's play .273 average on the year, but today 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch his last time up. 0-2, outside corner, called strike 3. Lane not happy with the call, but he will go back to the Hornets dugout. And with 1 down, Garrett Jackson steps to the plate. Jackson also looking for his first hit on the afternoon, 0 for 3, pop out, ground out, strikeout. First pitch from Payne results in a ground ball to first base. Allen will take it himself. And Jackson down 3 unassisted after seeing just 1 pitch.
Now up to bat, number 15.
Payne with a strong start here in the 6th inning.
And we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, Sam. Averett playing last night at Hampton-Sydney. Don't know where the bullpen might be. So if you can get some length out of Payne here in the middle to later portions of the contest, that would go a long way. Gavin Collins looks to keep the 6th alive. Breaking ball outside corner called strike 1.
Payne starting off all 3 batters here with off-speed pitches. Continuing the same plan as the pitchers to throw before him.
Payne, the 3rd pitcher this afternoon for the Cougars. Misses the inside corner this time around. Payne, though, the 2nd arm out of the pen. It was the starter Tyler Nichols traveling 3 innings, giving up 1 unearned run. Then it was Shane Mickle going inning and a 3rd. No hits, but gave up 2 runs, 1 of which was earned. Down and outside from the southpaw. 2 balls and a strike now to Collins.
Collins scored one of the runs today for Lynchburg in the 1st inning.
Picked up the first hit of the contest in the home half of the 1st inning. 2-1. This is off the inside corner. 3 balls and a strike. Hitters count. Wind starts to pick up, blowing out towards right field. Payne to the plate. Fastball roped foul, 3rd base side.
Seen a couple off speeds here, a little bit out in front of the fastball.
I'll tell you what, from that foul ball, bat speed was cranked up to 11 there. That's the danger of working backwards, especially to hitters like Collins. They get that timing down. Look out. You'll feel it from the press box. 3-2. Not entirely close. It becomes a 2-out walk to put Collins on and keep the 6th alive. Cleanup hitter Avery Neves is the next scheduled hitter. First, a trip to the trip to the mound. Coach Billy Laughlin. Take this opportunity to talk about the upcoming schedule for both sides. After today, it's a weekend doubleheader on Saturday for Averett, playing at home against Marymount University. And meanwhile, for Lynchburg, they will be in action this weekend against Dickinson. Doubleheader on Saturday, and then the conclusion of that series on Sunday. First pitch set for noon in the series finale. All 3 games coming to you on LHSN. It's going to be another busy Saturday. Baseball playing on top of a top 10 battle between Lynchburg men's lacrosse and Cabrini. And then Sunday, we'll have the conclusion, all while ODAC championships for indoor track and field, ODAC championships for men's and women's basketball. Crossover season in full effect. Throw to first, Collins back in time. But as the crossover season provides a lot of sports, that means that much more content for you to check out on LHSN. First pitch to Neves, paints the outside corner. Count starts at 0-1. And I talked about the weather a ton during this broadcast, Sam, but I think this has got a leg up on our regular office spot. Nothing like sitting in the press box and sunny day, low 70s. Couldn't ask for much more.
Nope, can't beat this.
Another throw to first. Collins again back safely. Now I know you're missing the comfortable feel that we have in our office inside Turner Gym, but I'll say advantage Fox Field, at least for today. Left on right matchup. Neves without an official AB. Walked twice, hit by a pitch most recently. Down and inside, Proctor lost it. Collins moves up into scoring position at second.
1-1 count to Neves with first base open. Be interesting to see how Payne attacks the rest of this at-bat.
And it could certainly turn into a situation where Payne, if he falls behind 3-1, instead of trying to force the issue, you probably allow Neves to reach at first and go left on left against P.J. Alvenos, who's on deck. Pitch down in the dirt. 2-1 the count now to Neves. Payne tossed 21 towards home plate. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk so far in his relief stint. Now Payne steps off the rubber. Runs across in each of the last 2 innings. It was a wild pitch that scored Ryan Long in the 4th, and then an E4 off the bat of Jackson Harding that brought around Avery Neves last time Lynchburg was at the plate. Payne missing the zone once more. 3 balls and a strike, and now we'll see what Payne wants to do here. I would venture to say you're likely traveling the route of the intentional walk and then try to go left on left against Alvenos, who is in the on-deck circle. Breaking ball, drops it at the belt. It's now a 3-2 count. No guarantee that Collins is in motion, but no one holding on at second, and Payne hasn't taken all that many glances. Collins not in motion. Ground ball up the third base line and foul. Neves with the RBI opportunity would be ribby number 3 on the season. Came in today, .429 average. Underneath the breaking ball, skied on the first base side. Lands just in front of the camera, as you see. In a game of inches. Our camera operator, Brian Chen, as close to the action as anyone else.
Neves gets a couple swings under his belt here.
See another 3-2. Payne leaves it up over the heart of the plate, slap back up the middle. Neves not only has his first at-bat, he's got his first hit and RBI of the day. Coming around to score all the way from second is Gavin Collins. Runs across in 3 straight frames. Lynchburg up 4-1.
Now up to bat, number 18, P.J. Alvenos.
Not through with the 6th inning yet. P.J. Alvenos will come to the plate. And Neves is on at first. So, again, not to say I'm a coach or anyone nearly as smart as that, but if Neves is going to be on at first and you're going to have to face Alvenos, the intentional walk seemed like the route of least resistance for Averett. Instead, it's an RBI single in a 4-1 game. The count starts at 1-0 to Alvenos.
Neves already with 2 stolen bases on the day.
Left on left matchup. The 1-0 misses downstairs. It looks like a right-handed arm is up and throwing right now for Averett in the pen. (2-0), high and outside. Count swells 3 balls, no strikes. It's not an overly large lead for Neves at first, despite being opportunistic on the base pass today. 3-0, down and away. Alvenos sees 4 pitches, all miss the zone. And it's a 2-out walk to move Neves up into scoring position at second and put Alvenos on at first. And you look at the first 4 that Payne faced, as we will have a pitching change for Averett. Payne retired the first 4 he saw, got it through a sac bunt, pair of strikeouts and a ground out to first. Then it's been walk, RBI single, walk for the last 3 that Payne has faced, who now exits the mound. We will step aside, come back and tell you about the new arm for Averett. 4-1 Lynchburg, stretching their legs and leading by 3. Jake Braun coming out of the bullpen for the Averett Cougars. Comes on in relief for Wesley Payne. Line not final as he's responsible for Neves at second, Alvenos on at first. But as the stat line sits right now, Payne went through an inning of the third, gave up 1 hit. 1 run it was earned. Potential for more out of that line. And then 2 walks and 2 strikeouts for Payne. And we noted the first 4 he faced, retired them all. Looked like smooth sailing inbound for Braun, and then gave up a walk, RBI single, then a walk to end his day. And Jake Braun comes out of the pen, freshman from James River High School. One of the best at the 5A level in the 804 area in and around Richmond, Virginia. Second appearance of the season for Braun, went 1 inning at Washington and Lee on the 16th. Gave up 7 runs, 6 of which were earned, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. So that has inflated the ERA to a staggering 54. But Braun becomes pitcher number 4 for Coach Fleming and the Cougars. First pitch of the day, high and inside. Ducking out of the way is a pinch hitter. This will not be Riley O'Donovan. Instead, Holden Feldler. So Fiedler at the plate.
I have to say it. The flow continues to throw for Averett here in the form of the freshman.
The flow continues to throw. I like the way you word that. Somewhere, Noah Syndergaard has a big, wide smile on his face, right?
You can only hope.
Fiedler ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That means the end of the day for Riley O'Donovan, going 1 for 1, RBI single, and drawing 2 walks. Fiedler watches this one on the outside corner. 2-1 now the count. Lynchburg makes it, runs across in each of the last 3 innings. This one's popped up by Fiedler. Shallow right field. Tracking back, catcher makes the grab for out number 3. 2 runners left on, but another run pushed across for Lynchburg. As I said, 3 runs across over the last 3 innings. Lynchburg out in front 4-1 as we head to the 7th. Six, seven, eight coming to the plate for Averett in the forms of Tyler Wilson, Zach Proctor, Zach Smith. At least those are the 3 scheduled to the dish. Another inning of work for Adam Doffelmeyer. Doffelmeyer picked up a strikeout to bring it close to his first inning of work and starts his 2nd frame of action. Pitch cut on and sent to the glove of our new catcher, Holden Fiedler. We saw a pinch hit for O'Donovan to bring it close to the 6th inning. Slap back up the middle, off a hop, long fields at short. Throw to first in time for out number 1. Other than Fiedler, no other changes in the field for Lynchburg. And Doffelmeyer has retired all but 1 that he's faced so far. Left on right matchup as Zach Proctor returns to plate. 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts. First went down looking, the second down swinging. Proctor still looking for his first base hit of the season, and on cue, has it. Nice line drive out to left field. Hit for Averett in each of the last 3 innings now, after being set down 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. And another example of how baseball works in weird ways. If you want to take the last 3 half innings at the plate for Averett, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th that we're in now, hits in each of those 3. Meanwhile, Lynchburg's put runs across in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, their last 3 times to the plate, with hits only coming once, and that was in the 6th inning. Again, baseball can be weird. 1-on-1 down for Smith. Slider tipped in and out of the glove of Fiedler.
Some action in the Lynchburg bullpen in the form of Grayson Thurman.
Nice movement, breaking across the heart of the plate. Smith couldn't make any contact and now trails 0-2 in the count. Smith 1 for 2, struck out looking in the second, singled, stranded at first in the fifth. Pitch on the outside corner, cut on and missed. Smith sees 3 pitches and goes down on strikes for the second time this afternoon. Punch out number 2 for Doffelmeyer. That brings Gavin Colwell back to plate. Runner takes off from first. Colwell fouls it back to the screen, however. So Proctor will trot back to first. The 0-1 offering, down and outside. Glance to first. Doffelmeyer set, fields the ground ball back up the middle. Underhand toss to first, 1-3 put out, retires Colwell for out number 3. Proctor stranded at first, and it becomes inning number 5 in a row with Averett not able to scratch a run across. Cougars trail 4-1 at the hands. The Lynchburg Hornets were stepping aside and coming back with the home half of the 7th. Jackson Harding up to lead things off as it's 7-8-9 coming to the plate for Lynchburg. All with Jake Braun staying out on the mound for Averitt. One change. I apologize for my delay in letting you know it was Hudson Rowe at the plate for Zach Smith, the top half of the 7th. And now Rowe with the duties of holding down at shortstop. First pitch from Braun. Driven to center field, ranging back. McCabe there to make the grab. One pitch, good for out number 1.
Now up to bat, number 4.
Ryan Long returns to the plate. Shortstop walked, then hit by a pitch and laid down a sac bunt his last time up. Long, a sophomore from Virginia Beach, Virginia. takes the first pitch down below the knees. One is off the end of the bat. Sent into the Lynchburg sky, tracking to his left. Colwell there to make the grab for out number 2.
Now to bat, number 12, Carson.
So the first 2 hitters retired after seeing just 3 pitches. And that brings Carson Atkins back to the plate. Center fielder 0 for 3, pair of strikeouts and a ground out to go with it. Lynchburg in danger of being held off the scoreboard for the first time since the 3rd. First pitch slider. Drops it on the outside corner to open the count at 0-1. Home opener for Lynchburg. Chance to improve to 3-1 on the young season. Meanwhile, Averitt trailing by 3. Entered today 1-4 on the year. Looking to bounce back after a tough loss yesterday at Hampton, Sydney. Braun ahead 0-2. Leaves this pitch down to the dirt. Got now a ball and 2 strikes. If Atkins were to reach, we'd see the top of the order for a 5th time come to the plate in the form of Cam Lane. The 1-2. Down and outside. Patient approach now has Atkins even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two sent to short. Rowe. Fields and fires to first. Not in time. Speed is a skill not taught, but instead naturally acquired. Atkins showcases his speed and reaches to extend inning number 7.
First hit of the day for Atkins.
And a single that didn't leave the infield. Infield base knock turns the lineup card back over to Lane. The DH 0 for 3, also been hit by a pitch and has a stolen base in a day's work. First pitch down to the dirt, did not hit Lane. Proctor bodied up with the chest protector, but good read from Carson Atkins allows him to move to second on the wild pitch. Just like we talked about it when Ryan Long did the same thing in the 4th, reading dirt balls. A place to create an edge. Turned on by Lane. It stays fair up the right field line. Landing pretty much on the chalk. Atkins scores from second. Lane trades places with him. RBI double. Makes it runs in 4 consecutive innings at the plate for Lynchburg.
Braun started this inning really strong and consecutive hits. Gives Lynchburg a little insurance here.
And here in the 7th, mirroring that of the 1st, where the first 2 were retired and then a 2-out rally. Good enough to push a run across. Both sides, even with 5 base knocks, Lynchburg they want to get more runners on via walks and hit by pitch and taking advantage of their opportunities. We've talked about it all game long, being very clinical, moving runners up 90 feet at a time, and it has certainly paid off. It's now a 5-1 Hornets lead. RBI chance for Garrett Jackson, 0 for 4 to this point in the contest. Waits on this one, makes some loud contact, but to straightaway center field where Nolan McCabe takes a couple steps back and makes the catch for out number 3, straining Cam Lane at second. But the DH came through with the 2-out RBI double to play Atkins and make it a 5-1 ball game. We'll step aside and come back with the top of the 8th. Averett looking to rally. Lemur sighting at Fox Field. It's Grayson Thurman coming out of the pen. He has caught the eyes of many across the country, and rightfully so. He's been stellar throughout his Lynchburg career, and now comes on, take on the top of the order for Averett. Now that we're into the top of the 8th, Grayson Thurman going toe-to-toe with Nolan McCabe, Brandon Hatcher, and Kevin Ziske. At least those are the 3 scheduled to play.
Thurman was rewarded the save on Pond's 6 perfect innings. Went 3 innings with 5 strikeouts.
Not often you see the 9-out save. First pitch of the day for Thurman, misses down and outside. And it's I think over the top might be underselling where this release point comes from. But I can also assure you, at the plate, that downhill run must be vicious. Head on top of that. Fastball, splitter, curve. Good accuracy with them all. Poised for a big year in his senior campaign.
Not the first time today we have not been envious of Averitt hitters.
It's funny, talking about it as a former baseball player, I just don't think I could do it anymore. Just any pitch coming my way, it's just not for me anymore.
Give yourself more credit than that.
Pitch at the knees, call strike 2. And that was really nice of you to say. I appreciate that. I'll just stick to pitching. That's where my career ended for the most part anyway. So, plus a nice game of chess. Speaking of that, we'll see where Thurman wants to go here. 2-2. It's fastball, right side, laying out. Alvenos, the throw to first, not in time. Stellar effort put together by P.J. Alvenos, and the throw maybe a step behind from retiring McCabe.
A little slow to get up after he made the dive. Good speed from Nolan to beat that out.
McCabe showcasing some of what he brings on the defensive side, playing out in center field. Gets his first base knock of the day. Hit number 6 for Averett as a team. Leadoff man on. First pitch to Brandon Hatcher. Has him back out of the box. Count starts at 1-0. Hatcher also looking for his first hit of the game. 0 for 2, drawn a walk. Was caught stealing after reaching via the base on balls. Hard over the top, 12-6. And you mold that after seeing fastball, about 15 or so miles an hour difference. To reiterate the point, I do not envy anybody standing in the box right now. To then have it cranked back up another 15 miles an hour and pump a fastball by you. Needed to Lynch Station, Virginia. Chance to pick up his first strikeout in the afternoon. 1-2, slap foul the other way.
On top of the changing velos, Thurman likes to work really quick here, keep their batters in the box.
And that's one of those tools where if you're a pitcher, it's a double-edged sword. If you're in a rhythm and you're working in a groove, it is tough, nearly impossible for hitters to be able to keep up. This pitch down to the dirt, first base occupied, so Hatcher goes down on strikes. First punch-out victim against Thurman this afternoon. But conversely, if you're struggling to find the zone and you keep up that high tempo, sometimes you have a hard time getting out of that funk. So it gives, but it can also take away. We'll also see if Thurman wants to stay out there for a potential 6 innings of work. Normally, as the closer, you're thinking just the 9th. And especially after this is no longer technically a save situation, lead out beyond 3. Sometimes it's at 4, you can be judgment-based, but I was starting to think after the bottom of the 7th, that run pushed across, maybe wouldn't see Thurman, but here we are. We might see him for the 8th and the 9th. 1-1 count to Kevin Ziske. Right fielder 0 for 3. Struck out twice, grounded out to short most recently. Big lead over at first. McCabe looked like he had the timing set, but decides not to run. Instead, at the plate, breaking ball in for a called strike 2.
See if McCabe tries to test the arm of the new catcher and Fiedler.
Throw to first, and McCabe was leaning, but able to get back in time.
McCabe fighting the sun over there.
1-2, fastball outside corner, called strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Grayson Thurman and the senior. Now a hitter away from putting up another 0 next to that Averitt line. And this one feels like it'll hurt as much, but maybe even a little bit more, considering the leadoff man is on. He's the top of the order bat, form of Nolan McCabe. Brings a whole lot of speed. And if Averitt leaves this inning without a run, trailing by 4, you never want to call anything a dagger or a nail in the coffin, but this is when you start to think about that. Breaking pitch, appeal up the first base line. They'll say he didn't go around. Two-0, down the heart of the plate for a called strike 1. Spicer's had a nice day at the plate. DH 2 for 3. Singles coming in the 2nd and the 6th. Throw to first. McCabe was jumping off the bag, able to get back in time. In on the hands and fought off the other way by Spicer. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 down. Top of the 8th inning. Averitt on the base paths, 1 for 2 as a team. That came against Riley O'Donovan as the catcher for the Hornets. We'll see if McCabe wants to try to challenge Fiedler. Won't need to. 2-2, breaking ball with plenty of bite to spare. Grayson Thurman strikes out the side, forces Averitt to strand the leadoff runner reaching after the single. We're through 7.5. Stepping aside and coming back with the home half of the 8th. Lynchburg looking to make it runs in 5 consecutive. First pitch, home half of the 8th. It was off of Collins. Waiting to see what the official ruling on that's going to be.
Braun still on the mound for Averett.
Another frame of work for Jake Bond. Gets a ground ball. Left side. Wilson at third. Has the throw pull Allen off the bag. And as Allen tries to apply the tag as well, ball bounces out of the glove. So Collins aboard at first.
Now up to bat,
And Lynchburg with the chance to make it runs across in 5 innings in a row. It'll be officially an E5 going against Wilson. That puts Collins on. Third error of the game for Averett. Braun out of the stretch. Comes too far inside. Finds the middle of the back for Avery Neves. So now 2 on with no outs. Collins up to second after reaching on the air. Neves aboard via the hit by pitch.
Neves 1 for 1, 2 hit by pitch, 2 walks today.
The on-base percentage is in a good spot coming out of today.
RBI in the mix there too.
Potential post-game interview subject. And it looks like Averett's going to make a pitching change. Out to the mound comes Coach Fleming. We'll take a quick pause and come back and tell you about the new arm for Averett. Lynchburg out in front, 5-1. Coming out of the pen, Eric Hansen becomes pitcher number 5 of the day for Averitt. And the line not final for Braun as he's responsible for the 2 runners on the base pass. But Jake Braun goes through an inning and a third, gives up 2 hits, and as it stands right now, 1 earned run. No walks, no strikeouts for the righty. It's Eric Hansen coming out of the pen, 2nd appearance this season. First hitter he'll face is a lefty, P.J. Alvanos. First pitch of the day for Hansen misses the zone. If you're just joining us, as Collins is the lead runner at second, reaching on an E5, and Avery Neves behind him at first. Inside portion of the plate, shallow flare, center field. Nolan McCabe covers the necessary ground, makes the catch for out number 1. This is actually the first appearance of the season for Hansen. Made 3 appearances last season, ERA at 27. Pitched 3 innings, gave up 9 earned runs, 9 hits, 5 walks, 1 strikeout.
Holden Fiedler getting his 2nd at-bat of the day. Flew out in his first appearance.
Pop out to second after Riley O'Donovan. Finishes the game 1 for 1 with a pair of walks. Breaking pitch down and outside. Proctor does a good job keeping it in front. Runners forced to hold. First and only meeting between these 2 teams this season. They played twice last year. Lynchburg took both meetings. First coming here at Fox Field, the second over at Averett. And the Hornets certainly in the driver's seat to start the regular season 1-0 at home. Up 5-1. 2-0, down and outside. Proctor relays the signs. Hansen sets the belt. Misses down and outside. 4-pitch walk, loads the bases. Collins moves up to third, Neves behind him at second, and Fiedler reaches for the first time today via the base on balls. Bases loaded spot for Jackson Harding. Right fielder 0 for 4. 3 flyouts and reach on an error. First pitch swinging, waits on the breaking ball, deposits it into right field. Runners move up 90 feet and stay juiced on the base paths. Collins scores, Neves up to third, Fiedler behind him at second, and Jackson Harding gets his first hit on the afternoon, gets an RBI with it, and Lynchburg scores runs in 5 consecutive innings and now leads 6-1.
Harding was likely looking center cut there after a 4-pitch walk. Got the pitch he wanted.
Ryan Long back to the plate. Takes a hack on the first pitch he sees, comes up empty. Long 0 for 1, flew out to left field his last time up. Before that, walk, hit by pitch, and a sac bunt. Neither runner being held on. Fly ball out towards right field. Deep enough. Zeski makes the catch. Tagging up and scoring from third is Neves, also advancing his Fiedler. He now stands at third. RBI sac fly out to right field. Makes it 7-1 Lynchburg.
Now at bat, number 12, Carson Atkins.
Carson Atkins, fresh off his base knock his last time up. Came around to score as well. That was last inning. 1 for 4 all total in the day. First and third sides being relayed by Zach Proctor, standing out in front of home plate. Hansen out away from holding the damage at 2 across. Hansen looking to get this final out, and for Averitt to be 5-6-7, step to the plate in the top of the 9th. Runner takes off from first. Throw goes down to second. Hatcher stepped up in front of second to cut the throw off. So the tag not implied in time. Harding steals second base.
Hatcher's on the back there. They're probably getting out of the inning as the throw beat Harding to the base.
First stolen base of the year for Jackson Harding. Fastball just off the outside corner coming from Hansen. Hitters count, 2 balls and no strikes. Atkins reaches. We're getting back to the top of the order. Atkins, the 7th hitter of the inning for Lynchburg. Two balls and a strike, 2 runners on in scoring position. Breaking ball becomes a fly ball out to right field. Zeski underneath it, makes the catch for out number 3. 2 runners left on, but 2 more come around to score. 2 runs added on to the Lynchburg line, makes it a 7-1. Hornets lead as we step aside. Come back with the top of the 9th. Lynchburg looking to close it down. Top of the 9th inning, Averitt down to their final 3 outs and find themselves down 7-1. Grayson Thurman stays out on the mound for the Hornets and will face 5, 6, 7 from Joseph Allen, Tyler Wilson, and Zach Proctor. Working exclusively from the stretch, Thurman deals first pitch fastball in for strike 1. 0-1. Drops below the knees. Count even at a ball and a strike to Joseph Allen, who's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. 2 of which he went down looking, 1 went down swinging. Thurman leaves this one away. 2 balls and a strike now. Fastball sent back to the screen. Count moves even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield plays straight away against Allen. The outfield shading towards right center, specifically Carson Atkins at center doing that. And Grayson Thurman throws it hard, makes a whole lot of sense. Hitter's probably going to be a little behind on it. Breaking ball, and Allen is behind on it. Actually sends it into the Averett dugout. Good to see everyone is okay. Two off the outside corner, maybe a shade low as well. The 3-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Allen knew it immediately. Goes down looking for the 3rd time today, down on strikes for the 4th time overall. And after issuing a single to the first hitter he faced, Grayson Thurman has retired the next 4, all via the strikeout.
Something we can expect to see throughout the year from Thurman.
Tyler Wilson back to the plate. Third baseman 1 for 3. Had the long RBI double. Tie the game up. That was all the way back in the 2nd. One offering. Lower half of the zone, called strike 2. One, 2, breaking ball, yellow light swing. They'll say he went around. 5 straight strikeouts for Grayson Thurman. The Cougars down to their final out. Zach Proctor comes to plate. Had a single his last time up. 1 for 3 all total in the day. First pitch to the Cougar catcher. Down and outside. Lynchburg an out away from another win against against Averett. Lynchburg has taken 5 in a row against the Cougars and 8 of the last 9. 1-1, breaking ball, called strike 2. One, 2. Breaking ball, cut on and missed. Fiedler closes the door on Averitt. Grayson Thurman shuts it down. Lynchburg wins 7-1. Before we talk about the entire game, Sam, let's just talk about Grayson Thurman. Gives up a single to the first guy he faces, retires the next 6, not just retires them, sets them down via strikeouts to the next 6. But all told, for Lynchburg, this is your home opener and really gave the crowd here in attendance at Fox Field a lot to cheer for. Team win, great pitching efforts, and the offense was there as well.
Yeah, it was a great day for baseball, and Lynchburg did a really good job doing the little things right. Got base runners. Despite being out-hit until the 8th inning, they win this by a gap of 6 runs and got base runners, played small ball, like you said, stole bases. Good day for baseball, and they played some great baseball today and got the win.
And Lynchburg puts runs across in 6 of their 8 innings at the plate. That type of consistency will take you a long way. Meanwhile, Averitt, Cougars fall to 1-5 as Lynchburg elevates to 3-1. Averitt, though, especially in these midweek out-of-conference clashes, you start to get a feel for who's going to be where inside the Commonwealth of Virginia. There are some pieces here on this Averitt team that were really impressive. Didn't get to see a whole lot from the pitching staff. It was pretty shorter stints for each and every arm, but Brandon Hatcher, despite not having a hit today, looks like a player who could have a big year this year inside the Big South, or excuse me, the USA South. But all told, excited to see where this Averitt team comes and where Coach Fleming can take them.
Yeah, a couple things for them to be excited about throughout the season. A slow start, but they've got a doubleheader this weekend. Hopefully they can turn it around and get some momentum coming out of this weekend.
It just takes one day to turn everything around. That's going to do it for us at Fox Field. For my broadcast partner, Sam Rice, our director, Nathaniel Pierce, and the rest of our fantastic LHSN broadcast crew, my name's TJ Winger telling you one final time, 7-1 Lynchburg gets the best of Averitt. And until next time, we are signing off.